If you've ever caught yourself wondering whether alcohol is quietly changing your body, this message matters more than you think. Most people assume real damage only happens after decades of heavy drinking, but the truth is far more uncomfortable. Your body usually starts sending warning signals much earlier. The problem is that these signals don't arrive with sirens or flashing lights. They show up subtly, disguised as everyday issues you might brush off as stress, aging, or bad sleep. And that's exactly how alcohol gets away with doing long-term harm right under your nose. One of the earliest systems alcohol interferes with is your cardiovascular system. Even moderate drinking can push your blood pressure upward, often without you feeling anything at all. High blood pressure earns its reputation as a silent threat because you can feel completely normal while serious damage is building in the background. Persistently elevated pressure strains your arteries, forces your heart to work harder, and raises your risk of stroke and heart disease. According to Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, hundreds of thousands of deaths every year are linked directly to complications from hypertension. Alcohol plays a measurable role in this. Research consistently shows that regular drinking increases the likelihood of developing high blood pressure, even in people who otherwise appear healthy. What makes this especially dangerous is how easy it is to ignore. You don't feel pain. You don't feel pressure. You just carry on, unaware that each drink is quietly reshaping your circulatory system. At the same time, alcohol begins to interfere with how your body handles energy and appetite. Every drink contains empty calories that offer no nutritional value, yet they add up fast. A few daily drinks can easily translate into several hundred extra calories, and that's before counting the food cravings alcohol tends to trigger. Ethanol alters hormones involved in hunger and satiety, making you more likely to overeat, while also slowing fat metabolism. Over weeks and months, this combination often leads to gradual weight gain that feels mysterious at first. Clothes fit tighter. The scale creeps upward. Many people blame their schedule or lack of exercise, never realizing alcohol is quietly tipping the balance. Excess body weight then compounds the problem by increasing the risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, sleep apnea, joint pain, and certain cancers. It becomes a feedback loop where alcohol fuels weight gain, and weight gain amplifies health risks across the entire body. Your brain doesn't escape this process either. Alcohol directly affects communication between neurons, disrupting attention, reaction time, emotional regulation, and memory formation. One of the most obvious red flags is memory disruption. This doesn't always mean dramatic blackouts. Sometimes it shows up as fuzzy conversations, forgotten details, or gaps in recent events. These aren't harmless lapses. They happen because alcohol interferes with the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for creating new memories. Over time, repeated exposure can weaken cognitive performance in areas like decision-making, concentration, and impulse control. Long-term heavy use is also linked to structural changes in the brain, including shrinkage of certain regions involved in learning and emotional processing. The scary part is how normalized this becomes. People joke about forgetting things after drinking, but those moments are signs that your nervous system is under chemical stress. Another place alcohol leaves its fingerprints early is on your appearance, especially your face and skin. Alcohol causes blood vessels to dilate, which can lead to persistent redness and puffiness. Fluid retention makes the face appear swollen, particularly around the eyes and cheeks. At the same time, alcohol increases oxidative stress, reducing your skin's ability to repair itself and neutralize free radicals. This accelerates visible aging, contributing to fine lines, dullness, and loss of elasticity. Dehydration makes matters worse, leaving skin dry and less resilient. Over longer periods, repeated inflammation and impaired collagen production can permanently alter facial structure, making people look older than they actually are. These changes don't happen overnight, but once they become noticeable, They're often already well established beneath the surface. While these outward signs are easy to see in the mirror, something far more serious may be happening inside your chest. Alcohol is classified as cardiotoxic, meaning it has direct damaging effects on heart tissue. When your body metabolizes alcohol, it produces acetaldehyde, a highly reactive compound that stresses heart cells and interferes with normal electrical signaling. This is one reason why drinking can trigger irregular heart rhythms. Some people notice palpitations, fluttering sensations, or sudden episodes of rapid heartbeat after heavy drinking. These disturbances may come and go at first, but repeated exposure increases the risk that they become persistent. Atrial fibrillation, one of the most common arrhythmias, significantly raises the risk of stroke and heart failure. Studies suggest that people who drink heavily are far more likely to develop this condition compared to non-drinkers, and alcohol is estimated to contribute to a substantial percentage of cases worldwide. What makes all of this especially unsettling is how socially acceptable drinking remains, despite its biological impact. Alcohol is often marketed as a way to relax, socialize, or unwind, but your organs don't interpret it that way. Your liver treats it as a toxin. Your heart experiences it as stress. Your brain adapts to it chemically. The World Health Organization has repeatedly stated that no level of alcohol consumption is completely risk-free when it comes to long-term health outcomes. Yet because damage accumulates slowly, many people don't connect today's habits with tomorrow's diagnoses. Here's the powerful truth most people never hear. Many of these early changes are reversible if addressed soon enough. Blood pressure can improve, metabolism can recover, cognitive function can stabilize, skin can regain clarity, heart rhythm can normalize. The body has an extraordinary capacity to heal when the ongoing chemical stress is removed. But it only gets that chance when alcohol intake is reduced or stopped altogether. If any of this feels uncomfortably familiar, that's not coincidence. Your body may already be trying to communicate with you. Fatigue, weight changes, forgetfulness, facial puffiness, or strange heart sensations are not random events. They're signals. And the earlier you listen, the easier it becomes to turn things around. By the time most people realize alcohol is affecting their health, the damage has usually been building for years. That's because the body is incredibly good at compensating. It adapts, it reroutes, and it absorbs stress quietly, until one day it can't anymore. What makes alcohol especially dangerous is that it doesn't attack just one organ. It creates a chain reaction across your entire system, slowly altering how your liver, gut, immune system, hormones, and nervous system function together. Let's talk about the liver, because this is where alcohol does some of its most silent but serious work. Your liver is responsible for detoxifying your blood, regulating cholesterol, storing nutrients, and managing blood sugar. When alcohol enters your body, your liver immediately prioritizes breaking it down, pushing other essential tasks to the side. Over time, this overload leads to fat accumulation in liver cells, a condition known as fatty liver disease. What's alarming is that this can develop even in people who don't consider themselves heavy drinkers. Early-stage fatty liver often produces no pain at all. You might feel slightly tired or bloated, but nothing dramatic enough to raise alarms. Left unchecked, however, fatty liver can progress to inflammation, scarring, and eventually cirrhosis, where healthy tissue is replaced by permanent damage. At that stage, liver function becomes severely compromised, affecting everything from digestion to blood clotting. At the same time, alcohol disrupts your gut in ways most people never consider. Your intestines are home to trillions of bacteria that help regulate immunity, metabolism, and even mood. Alcohol alters this delicate ecosystem, increasing harmful bacteria while weakening the gut lining. This allows toxins to leak into the bloodstream, triggering chronic low-grade inflammation throughout the body. This process, sometimes referred to as leaky gut, has been linked to fatigue, joint pain, weakened immunity, and metabolic disorders. It also places additional strain on the liver, creating a vicious cycle where gut damage and liver stress reinforce each other. Your immune system also takes a hit. Alcohol suppresses the production and activity of key immune cells, making it harder for your body to fight infections. This is why regular drinkers tend to get sick more often and take longer to recover. Even a single night of heavy drinking can temporarily weaken immune defenses for up to 24 hours. Over longer periods, this suppression increases vulnerability to respiratory infections, pneumonia, and certain cancers. It's not just about catching colds. It's about reducing your body's ability to detect and destroy abnormal cells before they become serious disease. Then there's sleep, one of the most misunderstood effects of alcohol. Many people believe alcohol helps them sleep, but biologically, the opposite is happening. While it may help you fall asleep faster, alcohol fragments your sleep cycles and suppresses REM sleep, the phase responsible for memory consolidation and emotional regulation. As alcohol leaves your system during the night, stress hormones rise, causing frequent awakenings and lighter sleep. The result is waking up feeling unrefreshed, mentally foggy, and emotionally reactive. Chronic sleep disruption feeds directly into anxiety, depression, poor concentration, and increased cravings, making it harder to resist drinking again the next day. Hormonal balance is another quiet casualty. In men, alcohol lowers testosterone and impairs sperm production. In women, it disrupts estrogen and progesterone levels, contributing to irregular cycles and increased risk of breast cancer. Cortisol, your primary stress hormone, also rises with regular drinking, keeping your body in a prolonged fight-or-flight state. This constant hormonal imbalance promotes fat storage, weakens immunity, and accelerates aging at the cellular level. And speaking of cancer, alcohol is now classified as a Group 1 carcinogen by the World Health Organization, placing it in the same category as tobacco, smoke, and asbestos. There is strong evidence linking alcohol consumption to cancers of the mouth, throat, esophagus, liver, colon, and breast. The risk increases with amount and frequency, but even low levels of drinking raise cancer risk compared to abstinence. Alcohol damages DNA directly and also interferes with the body's ability to repair that damage. It additionally increases estrogen levels, which helps explain its connection to breast cancer. These are not rare outcomes. They represent a significant portion of preventable cancer cases worldwide. What's particularly sobering is how normalized all of this has become. Drinking is woven into celebrations, stress relief, social bonding, and daily routines. Yet from a biological perspective, your body experiences alcohol as a toxin every single time. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention consistently reports that alcohol contributes to tens of thousands of deaths annually in the United States alone, not just from liver disease, but from injuries, heart conditions, and chronic illness. Globally, alcohol accounts for millions of deaths each year. These aren't abstract statistics. They represent people who once felt mostly fine. Here's the hopeful part, and it matters. The human body has an extraordinary ability to recover when alcohol exposure stops. Liver fat can decrease within weeks. Blood pressure often begins to normalize in days. Sleep quality improves as REM cycles restore. Inflammation markers drop. Gut bacteria start rebalancing. Cognitive clarity returns. Even heart rhythm disturbances can resolve once the chemical stress is removed. This isn't motivational talk. It's physiology. Your organs are designed to heal when they're no longer under constant attack. But recovery isn't just about removing alcohol. It's also about rebuilding what drinking quietly depleted. Proper hydration becomes essential because alcohol strips fluids and electrolytes. Protein supports tissue repair. Fiber feeds beneficial gut bacteria. Micronutrients like B vitamins, magnesium, and zinc, often depleted by alcohol, play key roles in energy production and nervous system health. Gentle movement improves circulation. Consistent sleep stabilizes hormones. These changes compound quickly, often producing noticeable improvements within the first month. What surprises many people is how dramatically their baseline mood improves. Without alcohol suppressing neurotransmitters and disrupting sleep, anxiety often decreases and emotional resilience increases. Energy returns. Focus sharpens. Motivation rises. Things that once felt overwhelming become manageable again. This is because your brain chemistry is no longer being artificially manipulated by ethanol and its metabolites. If you've made it this far, take a moment to reflect honestly. Not with judgment, just awareness. Your body may already be giving you signals: fatigue that doesn't resolve, stubborn weight gain, restless nights, brain fog, frequent illness, or strange heart sensations. These aren't random, they're messages. And the earlier you respond, the more completely your body can rebound. Alcohol doesn't usually destroy health overnight. It does it quietly, gradually, and politely, until one day the bill comes due. But that outcome is not inevitable. Change doesn't require perfection. It starts with recognizing what alcohol is truly doing beneath the surface and deciding that your future is worth protecting. Your body has been working non-stop to keep you alive. Maybe it's time to return the favor.